you can tell, well, not right now, but when we pull out the gas, that this one is $3.99, and I know that this is a rather poor area of Chandler because this is where I grew up.
Who you calling poor, man? Who you calling poor?
And what's so funny about this whole story, I'm telling you guys, is that right down the street from where I grew up, there was this other fella growing up at the same time, and we didn't know each other for a long time, even though we lived right down the street from one another. And I'm pretty sure that my parents bought his parents' car off of them when we were little. An old orange Pinto. And then years and years and many
there's a motel right beside the thing there.
Many years later, we meet and find out all this crazy stuff that we'd been right under each other's noses the whole time. Because my dad worked at this Burger King that we just left across the street there, and all of his buddies would go there and eat after partying and hanging out with some of the managers, because the managers were teenagers, so they'd party with them and then they'd go out there and eat and do all kinds of stuff like that. My dad was also one of the managers, and they partied with my dad as well when I was little. A lot of times I'd wake up with these people like laid out in the living room floor because they were hungover and shit. It was crazy. But it was cool. Because all of those guys, even though they were teenage boys and they partied with my parents and stuff like that, they were never disrespectful to my mom and dad. They were never disrespectful to me and my sister. They would have never done anything like that out of line, ever. They probably would have killed somebody if they even thought about doing shit like that to me and my sister. We were always protected. We never had to worry about shit like that. In fact, the worst shit that ever happened to me when I was under the responsibility and care of people that were church members and stuff like that. So that was really unfortunate. But, you know. And then, and all that comes back in full circle because that whole situation, it comes back to bite me in my adult life now many, many ways. For example, the person that did all that crap to me lives, basically, if I wanted to, he lives within walking distance of where we live. I could totally walk there in probably less than an hour, and probably less than 30 minutes, honestly. The way I walk, I could get to that trailer park right there. From where we live to there, I could get there in like 30 minutes probably. And they still live in that trailer park too, as far as I know. Now the dad's back in prison, but I think the mom still lives there. But then they have all the daughters are of course my age now. One of them's like way older than me, and I used to babysit her. She's the older sister of my friend, and it was my friend that I was always staying with her, and it was her dad that ended up doing that to me, and several other people. So that's what I'm saying, bringing up the other sisters, because we're on the highway. Sorry. That's my bad. It's not your fault, babe. But, so then, years and years later, after I'm with my son Tristan's dad, I'm on Facebook, and I end up talking to the little girl they used to babysit, Autumn, because she has moved out to Chandler and lives with her mom and is going to Inca Middle, and she realized she was going to school with my daughter. So she wanted to hunt me down. And, then found out that I live one street over from her. Turns out the street she lives on is the same street that my aunt lives on now, which is super weird. You know? Super, super weird. So it's like part of that whole traumatic event is a slap in my face every time I leave my home sometimes. And then it's another slap in the face when I go to visit my family on that side of town and have to drive by the house over there. It sucks. But I don't let it affect me like that. I know if I ever see that son of a bitch, me and him are going to have words. We're definitely going to have some words. And he may not like what I've got to say, but I really don't give a fuck either. So, but that's a whole nother video for sure. So, since I'm eating and that's kind of rude to eat and talk at the same time, I'm probably just going to pause this for a second. And it's dark. And y'all can just observe whatever it is we're doing for. In the dark of the crowd.
People have better situations and take advantage of them.
has got a cool. This video is cool. Oh, Charles Schwab. That's what. What? Are you kidding me? Thoroughly annoyed by my town. Oh, that's a nice road. That's a new one, huh? The wind messed my hair up on the way out the door. I think we should get one too for the window right here. A thing for the for the window, for the phone. So that whenever we're in the car together, we do this, and it'll be like this. You'll have it set like this. That's good. Shake your booty. Okay. Hey guys. Yeah. Hopefully you can hear me. Want a quick first off, apologize because I had planned on doing a live stream today, which whenever you're watching this, it may not be the same day, but if you need a point of reference, that is going to be Saturday, April. I don't know why I said September. Must have miles on the brain. It's April the 16th, which is also my sister's birthday. So, if you ever watch this, Sissa, I love you. Happy birthday. Super proud we've made it this far into this chaotic mess without dying or killing one another. So, here's to one more year. Love you. I was going to do a readout because last year during Easter, a simple comment seemed to really ruffle some feathers. Again, I recently had a comment, or it wasn't my actual comment, it was a comment thread that I was part of, ruffle some people's feathers, and it really wasn't even, it was super trivial, as is the case in why I'm not live streaming today. It's also super trivial. Me, Tish, and I got into a fight, like an argument. That's nothing out of the ordinary, but and this is also nothing out of the ordinary, but I'm just so sick of it. Like, I'm so sick of it interfering with my ability to do this, to do my website, to work on my podcast, to just anything to progress as a person is constantly being fucking sabotaged. And I can't stand it. It's driving me nuts. It's caused a problem with my art. It's caused a problem with my self-esteem, for one. It's making me doubt myself a lot. And it's one of those things that I worked so hard building myself back up to get back to this point to where I feel like sometimes, hold on, I'm gonna grab a coffee. It freaking sucks. Cause it's like, I feel like, sorry about the beanbag chair, I'm sure that makes a weird funny sound whenever I sit down, but like, I just can't. For one, I do not want to feel like I'm a burden on someone. So if they start saying things or doing things that make me feel like I am becoming a burden or whatever, then I'm gonna dip. Because we all know what happens when people start to feel like they're a burden, and then they, or they're constantly told that they are. It ends nowhere fast. So that's why I do that. I really don't know how to feel about a lot of things right now. Like, I don't really know how to feel about myself because, like, I get told and I hear some of the most negative, fucked up shit about myself. And I think for the most part, I don't believe it because I really do deep down know the kind of person that I am. So it's like it would be really stupid for me to believe some of the shit that people fucking say to me or have said to me in the past. But I mean, I think we all can admit, like, they may say sticks and stones may break our bones, but words definitely fucking hurt, and they stick, and you don't forget them. Sometimes they can last a lifetime. So, and again, like, a huge part of why I had started documenting, or started my channel, was to document a lot of this stuff, because I think a lot of people in similar situations would agree with me that it is something that's really hard to get people to see or understand if you even talk to them about it, if you reach out to people about it. A lot of times people will turn around and try to make you the bad guy and I'm not trying to say I'm a victim. I'm not a victim either. I don't want it to come off that way because I'm not. But I feel like there's definitely a story that needs to be told here. And mine has like a lot of extra stuff with it when you have to throw in the mental health aspect of it, and the autism spectrum, culturally different when you're talking about situationally with me and him, age difference with me and just about every single one of my friends, meaning most of the time I'm the youngest one. But most of the time I have older type views, which is why I tend to hang out with older people. But I think I'm already starting to have my own midlife crisis, if that makes any sense. Because I'm starting to get to that point to where I feel like, other than Tristan, other than my son, there is really no place or point in me being in Nashville except to check in on my parents and check in on Tristan. That's really it. And a lot of people are like, okay, Emma, where would you go? Where would I go? It's like if I had the financial stability to be able to choose anywhere and just get in a car, if I had one, and just go. I wish. But it's not like that. Unfortunately, these are the circumstances that I have been given, and I have also set up for myself for whatever reason. People may or may not agree with them, and that's okay. That's your opinion. That's cool. Like, whatever. So I just try to deal with them as they come along. I just roll with the punches, and I take it one day at a time. That's the only thing I can do. If I worry about shit that's going to happen tomorrow when I don't even know if I'm guaranteed tomorrow, that's fucking useless and meaningless stress to me in my book. That's like so dumb. It's so dumb. But this one's hard because mostly because I have a lot of respect for him, and I think the fair way to say this would be I used to value his opinions a lot more than I do now, because now I feel like they're coming from a different place. They come from somewhere else, and they're not genuine or whatever, and I don't really. I mean, there's a way to disagree with someone and talk to them, and then there's a way to not do that, and he's really good at the not doing it the right way. I have to say and acknowledge and admit today it was my fault that it got the way it did, but it ended fairly quickly based on the fact that I think it might have got through to him this time, because it was like, dude, She's asked you multiple times to please be quiet and just take her home. And then you keep sitting there and saying, like, it's just the god awfulest shit. And I don't even like talking to you guys about this. That's why I keep this kind of stuff in the Tales from Ember stuff. Because it is just so personal. I'm sorry, guys. It's just sometimes after this happens, I go through this whole, like, I'm literally in shock. Sometimes where it takes me a minute to, like, assess everything that was said and done and just... And this time I decided, like, I'm going to come back and I'm going to start packing, which I already have. And I was like, no, that's not fair. I owe it to you guys to explain why I had a premiere set up, why I've taken it down, and whether or not I'm even going to do a video with the read aloud or what. Which I doubt. Right now, I'm going to. I seriously doubt it because I really need to be focused on getting the fuck out of here. If that's how he feels, then that's cool. I don't want to do none of this wishy-washy bullshit anymore. Like, don't tell me 1 minute that I can stay here and everything's okay, and then every time you get mad at me, throw that up in my face and say that I'm using you and shit like that. Like, no. 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 And I'm in my 30s. I'm just going to go ahead and own that too. I'm in my 30s. He's in his 40s. We're adults. We're not married. Stop being a fucking dumbass and acting like, for one, I don't know what the fuck is going on. And starting a fight to make it seem like to everybody upstairs, oh, we got into a fight, so I left. When really, you should be telling everybody, oh, I'm fucking around and I don't want to tell her I'm going to see another bitch because obviously that'll cause an issue. The reason why it's going to cause an issue now is because I've been saying it for so long, and it's like, dude, you know you were doing it the whole time. If you would have just owned this a long time ago, so much of this bullshit would not have happened.
So, hey Subbie gang and Newbie Nons. I'm really sorry that we didn't get to do the readout. I'm gonna edit this up. I'm gonna shoot for tomorrow, depending on how the rest of the evening goes here. So, I really do apologize. I know I had the premiere set. It's just sometimes things that are out of my hands factor into this, so...